Morning, Darren. It's Friday. I made it through my first week teaching on my own, with a mentor by my side. And as I alluded to in my last entry, this school, I was forewarned about a lot of the classes here, especially my tech class, that I was going to have a lot of troublemakers. I'd have to kick a lot of kids out. They're unruly, out of control, everything in between. And I got to say, being a teacher is a lot different than being an associate teacher. I'm actually responsible. I have nobody to fall back on. There's no one really to lead in a moment. Like when I'm dealing in a moment, there's nobody. I'm by myself here. They've kind of given me free reign. They've just said, do whatever I want to do. They just don't want to shut this program down, and they don't want me to quit. The school has my back 100%. If there's anybody that's a troublemaker, they're automatically gone from my class. Because if I end up leaving, they've exhausted all resources, this program gets killed. So it's been an experience, that's for sure. And I got to tell you, the kids aren't that bad. These kids have been sitting at desks all semester with pent up energy and they just want to get on tools. So I get where they're coming from with a lot of their frustrations. And maybe it's because I am a new teacher. Maybe it's because I just left the field. I get it. I relate to that struggle sitting at a desk. Whereas some of the teachers that have been walking here have either never worked in the trades themselves, or they've been teaching for so long they just simply forget what it's like to be a teenager, have all that energy, and want to start wrenching on things. And I think I've mentioned this class that I'm teaching, I have 4 lines. I'm teaching transportation, which is not my background whatsoever. So I'm having to learn on the fly as well as teach. And it's so frustrating too, because my first period class right now is prep. Second period is a grade 11, 12 split. Then I have lunch, and then my fourth and fifth periods are 11, 12 split again. And then my final is a 9, 10 split. I don't know why they didn't put all the 11s together and all the 12s together, because what I'm teaching now, I'm teaching 2 different lesson plans to each class, which is mind-boggling to me. I don't know why they didn't structure the program to make more sense. However, I can't control that. I'm just going to roll with it now. Every day I try to start something to get to know the students a bit better. And today I'm going to ask them, like, why do they take this course specifically? Some kids I already know have been taking it grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, and now they're in grade 12, and they just love automotive. I've come to determine a lot of the students in my class don't care for automotive. I don't know why they're specifically in here though, but I do know that they want a pathway in the trades once they graduate. Some want to be electricians, refrigeration, mechanics, plumbers, carpenters. So I'm very curious as to who told these young people to join this tech class. And what I want to get to the bottom of it, is it a guidance counselor? Is it another teacher that just said, hey, you know what, maybe you're not cut out for academia and you should do something hands-on. And if that is the case, I think that's the wrong message that we are sending to young people. And I know we've done it forever, but I mean, it's almost an insult to the trades themselves when they're saying, you know what, you're not all that smart, go pick a trade. I'm going to start a thing called blogs every week. We're doing this at Windsor, and I really enjoy it. So I'm not going to expect much out of my students, but if they could share a little bit with me every week and open up, then I think it'll be a creative release where they could talk about whatever they want, get some easy marks, because a lot of these students right now, their marks are really poor. So I'm going to try to find a way to boost those marks up for midterms. And inclusivity. I know we talked about this. I've talked about it anyway, quite a bit with you. And I was excited to get my own classroom, to be at a different school, because I was hoping that this would be a different experience for me and for my own agendas. And I happened to be stopping by my mailbox this morning, and they had a bunch of these signs, and it was like, feel free to post in your classroom. And I'm sure you can see that. Darren, I'm fucking jacked to be at this school right now. I'm nervous as shit doing all this. I'm worried about failure, but it seems like I got the whole support from the staff here. They're not expecting much. They're expecting a warm body that doesn't quit, so they don't shut down their program. But seeing this, and I've already noticed this in the principal's office, in our secretary's office, I've noticed it in a few classrooms. I've seen not just these signs, but I've seen flags and I've seen other indications that this is exactly where I want to be. So I'm pumped to see that. It's going to go on my bulletin board here in my classroom very shortly after I'm done shooting this video. But I'm happier. I'm happier that I'm in charge. I get to have my own say. I get to express to my students that this is an inclusive space. Whether or not that means anything to them doesn't really matter to me as long as they know that they are welcome. So, really excited about this. I'll just give you a little tour of my classroom because it is much, much different than my old setting. I used to work out of 3 different classrooms when I was at St. Thomas Aquinas. Right now I'm at St. Andre Bessette. I think I showed you the link of their website. It is much different. I'm only in one singular classroom here. So I'll give you a little pan of the room. So back on that wall there, we have tools, Snap-on tools. It's a state-of-the-art shop, I gotta tell you. Over here, we got a few cars that we're wrenching on. We have a couple hoists in my classroom. There's one hoist there. Got another hoist there. Sorry about the shaky camera. And I don't know if you can really see it in the video too much, but I've got a riding lawnmower right back there on the floor. I've got some lawnmowers there, some snow blowers. I actually reached out to members of my community and I said, I'm teaching a tech class, a transportation class. Would anyone be willing to donate some things that the kids could wrench on? And my community stepped up huge. So I'm really happy with that. We got a tire machine over there. We got a tire balancer. And I love this. I haven't done a lot of automotive. For quite a while. So I just a lot of refreshing on my end that I need to do. But I'm playing to my strengths. I'm playing to what I do, and that's authenticity. I was honest with the students. I don't know transportation. We're going to have to work collaboratively as a team to get through this. And that I'm a no-nonsense teacher. I'm not putting up any of this garbage, these attitudes, acting out. I said, I'm going to make this an enjoyable environment. I'm going to treat everybody with respect, but I expect the same. So things like showing up late, being loud in class, being an idiot in class. I actually had to kick one student out the other day because he kept honking the horn on one of the cars after I said like 3 times to stop. But I'm finding, and it's maybe because I am a hardened tradesman and I've worked with a lot of assholes in my life, I don't find these kids difficult. I think, and I don't want to insult any previous teachers, but I think I don't want to use the word soft, but I think they're expecting way too much out of young students. So this is my vibe, and I'm enjoying it, and the kids are seeming to enjoy me. They've taken to me. They've shown me their respect, and it's going to take a little bit of work, but we're getting there. One of the really cool things, too, that I'm incorporating, because we do have a welding shop that I didn't highlight, but we have a welding shop attached to my classroom here, and I have years of welding experience. Prior to becoming a sheet metal worker, I was a welder, and we did a lot of welding while I was in sheet metal. And back in the summer, I went to, and I don't know if you're a sports fan at all, but I went to a place just outside of Toronto. They were renovating, they've been renovating the Skydome for the last year and a half. But I went down there and I picked up from a scrapyard a seat from like the actual Skydome. And in order for it to function properly, I need to weld some legs or attach some legs to the bottom of this cast iron frame. So I'm going to get the kids to get in the welding shop and start trying to make some leg designs that we can attach to my seat. And there's a lot of young kids here. It's a sports school, and they do like sports. I think they're going to get a kick out of this. And it's actually got the Skydome logo on it right there, which is pretty neat. So, playing to my strengths, I'm going to try to come up with creative, unusual, and new projects and ideas that they've never experienced before. And I'm hoping that buys me some time to start doing some research. Like next week, I'm jumping into small engine repair. I've dinked around in my backyard doing some small engine repair, but man, I don't know the ins and outs of it, so that's going to be my weekend. That and marking papers and populating the D2L that I was told that was fully populated. It's not. Like there's a weekly assignment in there, but there's no other course content. So the kids are aimlessly trying to work through the D2L And there's a lot expected out of them, and there's little given to them to work with. So that's my whole weekend. I thought becoming a teacher on an LTO would be super sweet, and it is. But I kind of disregarded when Tim and every other professor said to me, like, when you are an actual teacher, the game changes. I'm finding out now the game has changed. So, not complaining. I'm enjoying it. I just got to work on some time management. And because it's in a field that I don't have a lot of experience in, I'm kind of behind the eight ball, but I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to enjoy this opportunity. Again, I'm going to work on my class management, which I think is the most important thing about as a teacher. It's not what I'm delivering, it's the connection with the students, getting the students to buy into me as a teacher and me buying into them as students. And I think once you form that bond, all of this stuff kind of falls into place. All your assignments, all your homework. If you can convince the student, they might hate the coursework they have to do, but if you can sell the idea to them that what they're doing is important, and if you treat them fairly and you treat them with respect, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that I can bring these kids to a level of learning where they're satisfied, where they meet the curriculum, but most importantly, where they walk away with something and they feel good about themselves. So that is my entry this week. I was really, really, really excited to share this, Darren, because I personally don't have any gay people, gay family members in my life or anything like that. But I do have a lot of friends, and I've shared that with you. And I shared why it's so important. And I just want everyone to feel welcome. So, that's my entry, Darren. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my new setting. And I look forward to, I guess it'd be lesson module number 8 coming out next. It's crazy to believe that our time together is wrapping up very shortly. So I think I might miss this. But I know that we get you a next semester, so I'm pretty excited about that too. Anyway, that's it. I guess we're marking some assignments. Talk to you soon.